Welcome to Time Saver Meals with Rachel. Tonight my co-cooks are Duke and Aaron, the master griller. I know, Daddy's silly. We are going to make, the reason he's here in all his silliness, is we're going to make barbecue chicken, which is actually his specialty, and roasted, semi-roasted, because we're going to only roast them at the end, Brussels sprouts with pine nuts. And it is going to be tasty. We're going to toast the pine nuts to give them a little bit of a rich, nutty flavor and add some onion. So, we're going to go ahead and get started.
But the first thing you need to do is wash your hands.
Yes. Due to the pandemic, we are way into washing our hands. So, we've already washed our hands, Duke included.
Yep.
And I'll let Aaron talk about the chicken. Just normally, we use chicken thighs because my son hates chicken breast because I usually overcook them because I'm too worried about them giving them food poisoning, and even with the meat thermometer I still don't trust it. And so normally he rips the skin off. I don't like to make it without him because I don't like to try and figure out how to get the skin off. But our grocery store didn't have that this time I went, so these are just chicken thighs, boneless, skinless. If you want to use chicken breast, you can. All right, do you want to tell them what you're going to do?
Yeah, typically you would want to have bone-in chicken thighs, but like Rachel said, this is what we have to work with today. So what I'm going to do is we're going to place the chicken thighs in this pan, and then we'll salt and pepper it. You want to be careful that you don't put in the barbecue sauce on top of it, because then it will burn. So you want to cook the chicken mostly before you put on the barbecue sauce after. So that's what we're going to be looking at doing.
And while he's doing the chicken,
I'm gonna peel the onions, and will be cutting the Brussels sprouts.
do you like Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, I do.
So what I'm doing is I'm cutting off the ends, and because, like I said, I have a little mouth and I have little mouths, I'm gonna cut them into smaller pieces so that one, they'll cook a little bit quicker, and two, they won't be such a big mouthful to eat. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and do this and time how long that takes, and then we'll hit the next step on cooking. So right now, just prep your food, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. It took 10 minutes of all three of us chopping. The reason is I did 3.5 pounds of Brussels sprouts because during this time my family is very hungry, it seems. And we did a lot more chicken than usual because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we are going to be able to use the rest of the chicken once it's done for sandwiches sometime this week. I'm gonna make chopped chicken, barbecue chicken sandwiches. Just toast some buns, put it on the leftover chicken, and I like to put onion on mine and peppercini. My kids sometimes like to put dill pickles, whatever you like to put with your barbecue chicken sandwiches, and sometimes they just like to eat them plain. So, took a little extra long. We're gonna go ahead and get started cooking. The big, fun, tasty things of this dish are the Brussels sprouts, which are just basically little cabbages. Some onions, but the pine nuts and the bacon are really what makes this dish.
Is a look at them?
Is that what they look like? I quartered them. I didn't quarter them. We quartered them so that they cook a little bit evenly. We are going to use my big Dutch oven pan because it's oven safe, and I can put it in the oven at the very end to roast. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I like to do, we're going to brown the pine nuts first, and I'm going to use a little bit of butter, about 2 tablespoons, and a little bit of olive oil. Nuts are really easy to burn, so you're going to have to stay with them, and at one point I'm going to pull the camera off and have you see what they are. Those are pine nuts, so we're going to go ahead and get this started. Ooh, butter. Butter, yum, yes. Can you throw that away from me, sweetie? All right. And I don't know, what's Rachel Ray say? Once around the pan is about a tablespoon?
Not Rachel Ray, not Jordan.
No.
Not Mom.
No, not me. Not Miss Rachel, the other Rachel, as we like to refer to her. Oh my gosh.
What?
Wow, good thing they're cooking is all I have to say. Okay,
Why did you say, oh my gosh?
because as I was talking, stuff came out of my mouth and it hit right here
Oh,
on the
weird.
floor.
Okay.
So like I said, good thing. All right, we are going to put in, I don't know how much, maybe, Duke really loves
Nuts.
the nuts. They're one of my favorite too. In fact, I remember my dad shelling pine nuts and eating them. He would roast them in the shells, and I was not a fan of shelling them. So this is my way. I like to eat them because I'm too impatient.
Yeah, I took like 10 without you looking.
Did you, little snitcher? All right. We're gonna put in, I'm eyeballing it, but I'm gonna say maybe 3/4 of this, and there are 4.5 ounces.
Is it gonna matter?
So maybe 3 ounces, maybe 4. They're really good. I like them.
Are they good and butter?
Yeah, but we're gonna toast them. All right. So we're just gonna kind of stay by the pan. This is not the time to check your social media
Oh!
or clean up because you can burn these within a couple of seconds and they smell nasty when you burn them. The other reason I don't like to use all butter is because butter scorches
Mm-hmm.
real easy.
Yeah.
So,
Like, you can do that with like anything. I've done it with eggs a couple times.
so we're gonna stop this and cook this. Then restart it right as it's starting to get brown. So you can see right now they're just white. The butter will turn a little bit brown as well. And the browner they become, the nuttier until they're almost burnt. So don't burn them because once you burn them, then the nutty flavor is long gone. So we're gonna go ahead and take a break and we'll see you in a few minutes. So here we are. You can see most of them are brown. You aren't going to get all of them this toasty color because then some will start to turn dark black. So we're going to turn this down and I'm going to actually take it off real quick and put the Brussels sprouts
On this thing, so it won't burn your counter.
Yeah, we're going to put the Brussels sprouts in and we're going to put the onions in. Be careful of the sizzle. They slide back a little bit. We're also going to add the onions as well.
Oh, there goes the
Oh,
onion.
we lost some. Oh no. We'll just toss it in the trash.
Yeah.
We add the onions not so you can have a bite of onion in every bite, but just enough to add a little bit of an onion flavor
Yeah.
to it. So we're going to return this back and start stirring. All right, the key to cooking Brussels sprouts, and I guess it's a tip really, is you'll see that it starts to turn a brighter green, like broccoli does when it cooks. You do not want to overcook it because then it becomes soggy and it does not taste good. And you do not want to undercook it because then it is too crunchy in your mouth.
Mom, it looks like you dropped something under your stove.
I did. I'm a messy cook. I'm a very messy cook. So this is almost ready to go into the oven. I have it on broil. But this much, you can see 3.5 pounds makes a lot. If you have a smaller family or not as hearty eaters, definitely do less. I also added seasoning salt liberally to this to help with the flavor. So we're going to put this in and broil it. I'm not sure what my camera person is doing. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in and then we'll return in just a few seconds. This took
And it says it's take.
This part right here, about 8 to 10 minutes, and we're gonna finish it up in the oven. Because it's a big batch, it'll take a little bit longer because I want a lot of it to be roasted. So maybe another 5-10 minutes.
Okay. Now, peace out.
Alright, so we went ahead and broiled these on high. My cameraman just hit his back. I'm backing into something, so sorry for the laughing, but that's my 14-year-old son. He is about 6'2", maybe 6'3", and not quite used to all of his body working in tandem because he grows so fast. And he's also the reason why we have to make so much food sometimes, because his growing body needs a lot to eat. So if you look at these took about 10 minutes, and you can see that some of them are a bit black. That's okay, they're really good that way. My kids have already been trying to snitch in this. So we're done, and in comes the barbecue chicken. While he's working on the barbecue chicken, we're gonna slide over and make room for him.
And we will be serving this out.
No, we're gonna actually add bacon first.
Yummy.
Yeah, most people like bacon. Until recently, you did not.
Yeah. But I like bacon now.
Yes, you like bacon now. So why don't you add?
Okay. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but it says bacon, caramel popcorn. I don't know. You guys like that, but I don't.
I don't like that. So we're gonna add these in, and we add them at the end so that they don't get soggy. If you cook them earlier, they'll get soggy. And like I said, you can make bacon and crumble it on top later, but I like to save time. This whole meal with cooking and everything, I'm gonna say maybe took us about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. You wanna stir? Whoa! This thing, we don't need that in there.
It also takes us a little longer than usual because we're filming, so yeah.
Because we're filming? Yeah, that does. But I'm saying overall cooking time.
Yeah, overall cooking time.
Add as much bacon as you want.
Yeah,
We like bacon, so we're adding bacon.
a lot.
And this,
For
Okay.
people who don't like bacon, like I used to not like bacon, you can serve, like if some of your family likes bacon and the other kid doesn't, you can serve it out before you add the bacon.
that's what I used to do for her, right? I used to dish out her plate before we would add the bacon. All right, I think we're gonna call it good on the bacon. And I was gonna tell you some other tip, but I can't remember it. So we'll call this good and turn the time over to Dolly.
So the chicken is ready. Notice that you have to add the barbecue sauce after the chicken is done. That way it's not burnt because it'll caramelize and burn. So the chicken is ready, and I think we're ready to plate.
Okay,
Wait,
great. Okay. This is gonna be Duke's plate, or Matthew's plate, lots.
Matthew's, it said Duke's.
I don't remember who I promised
Oh,
this, but
we said Matthew have it on Monday and Tuesday.
we fight over the food at our house.
Mommy.
When Matthew came down, he was saying it smelled like
Popcorn.
popcorn because of the nutty flavors of
That's
the
Matthew's.
pineapple. But this, we're not going to discuss right now on camera.
Sorry.
I'm sure your family never has arguing and fighting over who gets what first. Ours does. This is what your plate looks like. Enjoy.
Bon appetit.
Yummy. Look, wait,